So I'm not sure if the video, if the fan in the background is going to be too noisy, but what I wanted to share with you is an observation that I had is when I look at the body and we go through the whole system. You know, we check range of motion of the neck, we check the tension of the spinal neck muscles. We go through the shoulder range of motion, if there's any limitations with ranging your arm overhead, you know, especially if the elbow comes forward while we're going up. Rib cage mobility and how that affects the neck and the head specifically. And then hip range of motion, glute firing or not firing. And all of that stuff leads into a bigger picture of what do we do then. Once we find out that we have all these restrictions, we have the fascia system on the right side is too tight, the lats are way too strong and short, and that rolls the shoulders in. That really puts a tension, pressure dynamic on the lower back, which doesn't create lower back tension or pain, but instead it actually shuts the glute system off, and then that causes the lower back tension to act up because that stabilization force is not being helped by the stomach or the glute system. It's all right on the spine of the back. So then where do we go from here? The biggest thing is just take small chunks and try to correct one thing at a time, instead of trying to do, okay, well, I have to stretch and I have to do this and I have to do this exercise and yada yada yada. So even for myself, I can work on anybody and figure out how their system works for them. But for me, when I put my body on the table and I try to process my limitations, so to speak, I have to do one thing and then reassess the whole system. So I can't mentally in my own mind say, okay, like if I bring my arm up, yeah, I can feel a tightness in my pec wall. It, you know, the muscles are guarding, my rhomboids in the back aren't firing. That means I have to release my tricep, and when I do that, then I have to release my pec, and then I have to release my rib cage. You know, all of those things. That's too much information for my body. That doesn't even include my core, my glute system, my iliopsoas, my adductors, my pelvic floor, my breathing dynamics. So what I have to do is I have to pick one thing, usually the start of the process, and that is range of motion. So if I do range of motion in my neck, I feel tension by my right base of the skull, ear kind of ish area right here. If I do range to the left, I don't really feel much. So that means based upon the counterbalance of the neck and the rib cage, since I rotate my head to the right and I feel tension like right here, base of the skull, it's not right on the SEM, it's not on the spine, it's in between. That means where my rib cage is at, so my ribs are right here. I'm really tight today for some reason. And anyhow, so that means base of the skull, counterbalance would be this lower rib cage line. If it was right by the spine, it'd be sternum. If it was by the SEM, it would be pec minor, lateral rib serratus area. Since it's in between, it's going to be in between and up. So we're probably looking at rib cage, and that is a super tender spot. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to breathe into this. And then I'm going to work it. And that's already better. It's still tender and sucks. So just from doing that, and if I go back to range of motion to the right, I don't have that sensation anymore, but if I go to the left, I have tightness. Tightness is on left side, similar, but more closer to the SEM. So that means it's halfway down the it's not on the base of the skull, it's not on the upper trap, it's kind of like right in between. So that means I'm looking at left side. If it was base of the skull, it'd be lower rib cage. If it was upper trap, it would be first rib area, and this one's in between. So we're looking at right sternal line right in between, and as I do that, we're kind of off to the side. We're a little closer to the SEM, so that means we're probably going to be fourth, fifth rib, pretty close where the areola is at. We're going to pick a spot that sucks. And that one sucks a lot. That actually causes a little numbness and tingling. So we're just going to kind of work this a little bit. If we have to, we can pull the breast tissue over. Not quite. Let's go this way again. So that's really tender. So I'm going to just kind of work through, engaging the pec wall, softening that spot up. Does not feel good. And then reassess. So then reassess. Feels pretty good. If I go to the right, the whole right side of the base, like spine through here, is all tight. So that means the sternum line, let's see, from just below this, the base of the skull, so we're going to be higher than here, we're going to be up to here. And then it kind of goes down to about here. So we're probably looking at this area of the sternum, and that sucks. So we're gonna work. Ooh, that sucks really bad. That does not feel good. So instead of having the muscles, you know, they're slightly engaged, I'm gonna engage them harder. I'm gonna bring my arm in, and that's gonna perk up my chest, and I'm gonna work it a little bit harder because it doesn't hurt as bad. Take a breath. Now if I do range, that feels really good. And that feels really good. So that is how my neck tension gets better, because by working the rib cage and the chest wall in a counterbalance to the way I understand the body, that's what makes my neck feel better. Now granted, after I've done that, that lets more flow through my body, and now my lower trap in the back is pissed. So even though I've softened the chest wall and I've got it to where my neck system, the fluid off my neck is kind of draining better, now what's causes, there's a lot of pressure that's coming from my legs up through my system. It's hitting my lower trap, and then now it's going to be going into the rib cage wall. So now what I should do is work on, you know, going on a bolster along the spine and just doing some pec stretches, stuff like that. Working in the straightest anterior, doing lat stretches, straightest punches, all of those things. But that takes a lot of effort, and like I'm already fatigued right now. So what I found is that by working yourself on yourself in the method that I work on everybody else, it's tiring. So I'm done, basically. I know my body's just gonna do whatever it needs to. I might get congested again, but I'm not having any headaches. I'm not having an actual pain. But it's so much better just to lay on the table and then have somebody work on you, and then yeah, you might have to engage the muscle or do stretches, whatever the case may be. But overall, it's a pretty much more relaxing than working on yourself. That is how I work on the body. That's how I understand things. And that is why I'm looking for a content media creator, collaborator, because I have tons of ideas of how to work the body, but I don't know angles, and I don't know proper setups, and I don't know really how to work this part of the body on people and show it without being sexualized. Or I want every massage therapist should understand and know how to massage this part of the body. And if you go anywhere in the surrounding areas that I work, it's really hard to find anybody that works this system. One, we were never really taught how to drape breast tissue. Two, you have to educate people what you're doing, why you're doing it, and transition with their trust level. So if somebody comes in and they're really anxious, I don't work this. I might work over the sheet on their stomach a little bit, but I'm not going to dare touch their rib cage if they're anxious for any reason. We might barely touch like the shoulder, upper chest wall at the most, but people who are more open and relaxed and really want good body work, then, you know, say, is it okay to work your core? Oh yeah, I love my core work. Oh yeah, I love my rib cage work. So then we might go sideline. We might work the side of the rib cage so that way the breast tissue stays out of the way. You know, there's just a whole method to my madness, so to speak. But it's based upon the person that's on the table. And if the person on the table is open to it, awesome. If they're not open to it, then I have to structure my system a lot differently. And I think that's the biggest thing is everybody's used to going to a massage therapist starting face down and then having pretty much everything undraped for the most part. It's honestly really hard to find massage therapists that work on the actual glute tissue, not over the sheet or the towel. Like for me, it's kind of funny. It's kind of a running joke a little bit, but like as long as you don't go in anything, you're fine. But the glute muscle, there's a lot of muscles by the anus, there's a lot of muscles by the pelvic bowl area. Those are areas that need to be worked sometimes as long as the client's okay with it and you ask permission ahead of time. So this is why I don't do video creation for myself, because it's 11 minutes and I don't even know if this is going to work because my fan's so loud, because water got in through the door and through the wall because of stuff I've been asking for them to fix and they haven't fixed yet. And I rant and rave and get distracted. So that's why I need a content media collaborator to say, hey, this is what I'm working on, this is the way my brain understands it, how is this going to come across with video? And so if you know of anybody who is interested in working with me and trying to not only understand the way that I think, but a way that other people can perceive my knowledge and put it in a video context that people will understand, that's what I want.